Dear audience, thank you for listening and those who gave personal feedback. I received many messages saying my social media posts and the podcast is truly inspirational and gives motivation. Above all, it is authentic self-experiences. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. You can connect with my journey. In this episode, I'll share about inequality and why we're all brought up to be biased. We will face inequality at some point in life, some more than others. As long as poverty, injustice, discrimination, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly attain peace and see life as fair. I have faced my own share of inequality. I'll share some of those experiences. I was looking to rent a place in this well-known metropolitan city. I was rejected several times based on my skin color and ethnicity. The property manager and the owner said, "This property is not for Indian ethnicity." Even though I had money, clean character, and in a good job, I was discriminated based on ethnicity and biasness. Strange world we live in. That's all I thought at that moment. My wife is Caucasian with white skin color, and the nasty comments I got in my face being with her on the streets wasn't nice either. Horrible things were said, and sometimes just the body language of others, the way they express, is close to disgust and not approving on what I'm living, or who I'm with, or what they're seeing. But the inequality and discrimination I faced since childhood didn't bother me. I knew these individuals are discriminating based on their limited identity, either consciously or unconsciously. The fear and insecurity within themselves is the root cause of their actions against others. This is what I tell myself. When I was young, I was deeply uneasy about the inequality I saw around me between rich and poor, between genders, based on skin color or culture. During school summer holidays at home, I wasn't allowed to help my mother in the kitchen because I was the eldest son. I was told it is a female place and I shouldn't participate. Very strange for me that spending time with my mother had society rules. On the other hand, if I expressed a desire to help the less fortunate, I was told that God was punishing them for their sins and instructed to do nothing. It confused me to the core and felt helpless myself. When I was a kid, as simple a thing as visiting a tea shop in my village was, in my view, plagued by prejudice and injustice. Lower caste customers were seated on the floor and served tea in glass cups, which they then had to wash. Members of the upper caste drank tea at a bench from steel mugs. With recent years of road extensions, it's fortunate that the tea shop no longer exists. Other incidents which left a mark on me when I was young and still play in my head and my heart are reports I read in the newspaper when I was in my preteens. A low-caste man was held in captivity, tortured, and forced to consume human feces and urine, all because he had an affair with a high-caste girl. Low-caste girls, on the other hand, were forced to walk naked in front of the other villagers or sexually abused for not following high caste rules. Incidents like this are quite common to this day and age in a lot of countries and have only recently started appearing in Western media due to the activity of social media. This separation and inequality still exists in the name of caste, culture, skin color, social status, class, race, and religion. When we ask ourselves deeply why, the immediate answer I get is we're all brought up to be biased. We're conditioned to look after our own versus others. This bias and prejudice, or simply ignorance, can lead to isolation, vulnerability, disadvantage, and discrimination at school, at work, in stores, on streets, and other services, or even where people live, impacting humanity across all stages of life. On top of that, the causes of social inequality also include society's acceptance of roles, stereotyping, social organization by class or caste system, economic disparity, as well as political inequality. According to United Nations, today, wherever people live, they don't have to look far to confront inequalities. Inequality in its various forms is an issue that will define our time. Confronting inequalities has moved to the forefront of many global policy debates, as an agreement has emerged that all should enjoy equal access to opportunity. Inequalities are not only driven and measured by income, but are determined by other factors: gender, age, origin, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, class, and religion. These factors determine inequalities of opportunity, which continue to persist within and between countries. In some parts of the world, these divides are becoming more pronounced. Meanwhile, gaps in your areas, such as access to online and mobile technologies, are emerging. Groups such as indigenous people, migrants, refugees, ethnic and other minorities continue to suffer from discrimination, marginalization, and lack of legal rights. This is pervasive across developing and developed countries alike and is not tied just to the income. The result is a complex mix of internal and external challenges that will continue to grow over the next 25 years. In bridging the divide of inequality, an initiative, Leave No One Behind, serves as the rally cry of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We have to wait and see if we are really moving towards humanity where everyone feels equal and have a voice. We're great with sympathy, but not empathy in our actions. There is a huge difference between the two, where we often get confused. Empathy means experiencing someone else's feelings and shown in how much compassion and understanding we can give to another. Sympathy, on the other hand, means understanding someone else's suffering. It is more of a feeling of pity for another. Empathy leads to actions, while sympathy is easily forgotten. One way we can tackle this inequality on a personal level is by simply accepting everyone for who they are without judging, and treating others as our own part of being. That's our true nature, and in that true nature, there is inclusion, joy, and oneness. Inequality exists in our minds, in our biases, and prejudice, and that remains to be fixed. We need to challenge our own mindset and shift to achieve equality. In this episode, I focused on inequality and the way we're all brought up, biased, and conditioned. In my next episode, I'll share about finding clarity in our life. Thank you for listening to my podcast, Conscious Living. Experience the joy within you. Please check out my book, The True Self. Unlock the chaos in you. It is a timeless journey of teachings from across history and all cultures, a personal journey through universal wisdom. The book is available on Amazon in majority of the countries across the globe. Please subscribe to my podcast, Conscious Living, at Spotify for my next episode. Take care of yourself.